It is not enough to say something, how it is inside and how it finally comes across is equally important and to be considered too. Now, communication isn't complete till the other person perceives and understands the message, and that is why much effort should go into communication. There's need for the other person to hear and understand you and I when we talk in a communication to them, and for you to be sure that the message he or she picks is exactly what was intended. Happy to be here once again. My name is Omobola and welcome to my talk show. I want to talk about how you can understand verbal and non-verbal communication in a relationship. So, here are ways that you can communicate, and let's see how you can also improve on them. So, let's look at non-verbal communication. How do your partner communicate? That's my first question to you. It's important to study your partner's mode of communication, because what he or she says, or what he or she says, or what she doesn't say, is a form of communication, if you must know. This may sound strange to you, but silence is a form of communication. Did I hear you say, what? That's true. Silence is a form of communication. When people choose not to speak to each other, they aren't communicating verbally. Nonetheless, they are speaking volumes non-verbally. Just as not speaking at all is a form of communication, there are other forms of non-verbal communications, some of which amplify verbal messages and others which are complete messages on their own. Let's look at them. Something like body communication, facial expressions is in communication, gestures, and even your dressing is a form of communication too. Now, the danger in all of this non-verbal communication is that the meaning we tend to convey may be distorted by any of the above indices that I just highlighted above, and the wrong messages may be picked by the partner that we have or the people in our life. So you need to watch out. The interpretation, however, and understanding of non-verbal messages are entirely dependent on our partner's perception and judgment. So watch it also. Moreover, most non-verbal messages are instinctive and mostly we do not have control over them. I totally agree. So, I need to let you know on this. You need to have an open communication. Ask me why. Let's move on. Make your real opinion known to your partner. Don't leave him or her wondering what you meant to say or what's going on in your mind. Not at all. Even though you're communicating while you ain't talking, you should rather choose to talk because you don't like to be misunderstood. Now, that's very true. This is however not to suggest that when communication is verbal, there is always perfect understanding. Yes, in some cases, non-verbal cues interface with the messages that one receives. Absolutely. This could either adulterate or amplify the message when necessary. So what you finally pick up may vary from what was actually intended. So watch it on communication. This is why communication is said to be incomplete till there's a feedback. Absolutely. The feedback, however, it conveys to you or to me what your partner have received, interpreted, and have made of what is communicated. Let me repeat myself. Communication, it is not complete until there is a feedback. The feedback conveys to you what your partner have received, interpreted, and made of what is communicated to him or her. So, you can achieve a healthy relationship with your partner only if you understand that communication is a process and really an open and shut case. I will be right back. Omobola Steven is on here right now. Stay right back. Yeah, I got that. So, I'm moving on to verbal communication. Remember, I just talked about nonverbal communication. Now to verbal communication. Verbal communication, I need to let you know, is voicing our ideas, feelings, concerns, our messages, likes, dislikes, and anything. In contrast with nonverbal communication, where we sometimes pass on messages involuntarily, in verbal communication, we pass on messages voluntarily via speech. We say what we have in mind. Yes, just like me. I'm very open. I'm a realistic person, so I say what's on my mind, and we move on. So, by the time you stop communicating verbally, your relationship has stopped growing. Now, watch out. When people don't get along anymore, it is necessary or sometimes one of them is apt to say, we grew apart. Now, ask me why. Actually, you didn't grow apart. You have stopped communicating the right way. So, an important distinction to note here is that talking is not the same as communicating. Yes, of course. To communicate verbally, of course, you need to talk, but just talking doesn't entail communicating. They are two different things. You can talk about your day or the alpha storm. You can talk about the morning papers and still end up not communicating. And someone is saying, Omobola, what you say? Now, let's go on. In a relationship, till you start to convey your emotions, your feelings, personal experiences, what you really think, or your fears, you aren't communicating at all. That's the truth. Intimacy comes not so much from the sharing of serious topical issues, and it does from sharing little things which are important to the person, your partner. Listening to your partner when he or she is talking is very important. So, effective listening means you give him or her the undivided attention when he or she is talking, or that you are not talking about what you're going to say immediately he or she stop talking. So, I need you to listen to this. Listening should be more than barely hearing words. Let me repeat myself. Listening should be more than merely hearing words. Effective listening is receiving and seeking ways of understanding what you're receiving. So, the importance of communicating verbally and listening cannot be emphasized here, and that's why I'm talking about it. They are equally important if you wish to have a sound relationship, and I know you want to have. A partner who communicates verbally would not be difficult to understand and therefore difficult to please, just like me. Yes, just like me. Furthermore, people like this are rarely burdened with animosity because they usually extricate their feelings. With someone like this or with someone like me, you will always know what is going on in his or her mind, just like me, and will readily gain insights into how you can adjust or at least how to live with him or her. That's so simple. So now you know how you can get to me. Okay, the underlying factor is that when there is no verbal communication, there is no understanding, because the situation breeds misunderstanding. And so, where there is no understanding, there is no meaningful relationship. And where there is no meaningful relationship, there cannot be love. So, communication between you and partner could be likened to the circulatory system. Ask me. So, we can understand more of the intricacies of meaningful communication by observing the workings of the circulatory system in the human body. In a relationship, communication is meant to flow unobstructed. Unobstructed. But merely chatting or sharing the deepest dreams, making it a priority to listen to one another, makes for a relationship, and it makes for a healthy relationship, if I must say. So, you need to make it a priority to listen to one another. Just as toxic substances can impair the flow in the circulatory system, faulty communication patterns can impair our relationship. I beg your pardon. So when there is a communication breakdown, it is though the relationship suffers a stroke, and we don't want that at all. We become disabled also. Now, I want you to know that the growth of the relationship is stunted, and if you do not reopen communication channels fast, the relationship may die. You don't want that at all. So on this note, I'm going to drop and say, thank you for hanging around with me. I really don't want to go, but I just have to. It's been a really, really nice time having this talk show with you. Why not hang on some other time? I share really, really useful and helpful tips about life and relationship. You can visit my blog site on www.youmattertolife.com. You can have a really, really worthwhile learning experience on the go. Thank you once again. It's bye for now.